Hi everyone, my name is Nihareeka Ghadge and I welcome you on behalf of YLCC. We are here with a series of interviews of law students who made their own way to reach the destination you might be secretly willing to reach. Today we have with us MD Hasnain Raza. He is a third year law student at Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. He's keen about various law school activities and is an active mooter and has a rather different perspective for going about internships, and therefore we have requested him to share his experience with you all today. So without a further ado, let us get started with the session. Before we begin with the questions, would you like to briefly introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Niharika. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. As far as my introduction is concerned, my name is MD Hasnain Raza, and I am a third year student of BLLB honors at Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. I have been interning under the able guidance of Mr. Shoaib Alam and Ms. Fazia Shakil, advocate on records, since June 22. It's been almost a year now. And I just got a confirmation from Khaitan for an internship at their office. So that's about me.
Okay, so how would you describe your law school journey till now, and what was the effect of COVID, you would say?
In short, it's been amazing, to be honest, full of ups and ups, because as a student, I have nothing to get down, right? I have nothing to lose. So with each passing day, I think I'm learning, I'm growing. Now, second part of your question, COVID-19 definitely had a detrimental effect on us, on our education. I particularly couldn't focus much on academics, missed out many opportunities. But despite of all the challenges, we had to get familiar to the reality and find ways to make the most of the situation. I did the same, and I got some articles published. I participated in several moot courts, and I did some good internships, and that is how it went.
Right. So, due to law firm restrictions, we can say, we are witnessing this 1 month internship trend. Though it is actually suggested that instead of having many 1 month internships, students should rather have brief internship experiences to extract most out of the internships, right? So, since you have followed the same logic, would you like to shed some light on the rationale behind it and how has it been helpful for you so much so till now?
I don't think that I have followed the same logic. In fact, I have experienced both. I remember I was doing 3 internships at the same time during COVID, just for the sake of certificate. But at the end of the day, it doesn't serve any purpose. And you just get a piece of paper which is bound to be thrown into dustbin and nothing else. As you have already mentioned that it is rightly said that instead of many 1 month internship, we should rather focus on long-term internship, substantive internship, to make the most of it. Because a long-term internship allow you to actually immerse yourself in the reality of the profession and give you a realistic perspective of what you may be in for in the long term, right? It also allows you to follow cases through and teach you many things that law school doesn't. As already stated in my introduction, I have been working under the able guidance of Mr. Shoaib Alam and Ms. Fazia Shakil since almost a year now. It helped me to put into perspective the very reason I am pursuing law. And under their able guidance, I happen to be involved in several criminal, constitutional, and ordinary civil matters. There were many caffeine-fueled late nights, but absolutely never a moment of regret or doubt. And I am truly enjoying it. Let me put another perspective, another thing into this perspective. I believe that one can learn a lot even after spending just a month in any good chamber or any good law firm. I was there at the chambers of Mr. Tanveer Ahmed Mir just for a month. I interacted with him occasionally. He didn't train me personally, but what I learned by observing him was rather is invaluable. Even though I am not currently there at his chamber, I remember the way he happened to conduct, he happened to argue, he happened to make or break a case in the courtroom. And all those things have been a guiding principle for me. And I still learn from him every day, as I remember each and everything that I happened to see there. So, yeah.
Right. Moving on to the next question. Since you have also been a part of teams in national as well as international moot court competition, how would you describe your experiences, mostly focusing on the preparation stage of it?
It's been great, I would say. Be it any national or international moot court, it is always very hectic, and you have to have several hyper months into it. The preparation, of course, comprises of many things like team meetings, lengthy discussions, burning late night oils, research, drafting, formatting, pleadings, and whatnot. So, irrespective of you win it or not, you are bound to have great experience after doing all these things, because ultimately you have learned something, and that is what actually matters, at least for me. So,
Right. You've also won prizes for best memorials, right? So, how important an aspect is it in the moot court journey, and what all factors do you think one should keep in mind before the drafting of memorials?
correct. So I believe that memorials are the most important part of moot courts, and it requires a lot of brainstorming to finalize the issues. There are a lot of factors that has to be taken into consideration while drafting memorials, like research, which is the backbone of every move. It is always better to work as a team during preliminary research and then divide the issues for drafting. So that each team member has a fair knowledge and a fair idea of all the issues, right? Second, while drafting the memorial, sit together, discuss the issues, try to argue on the question of law, on the question of fact. And third, I would say follow IREC, as we are taught in law schools, that even in your answer sheet or assignments, we are taught to follow IREC. IREC stand for issues and then rule, application and conclusion. So always try to put forth the issues first, and then see what the rules are there, right? And then apply the same rules to your facts, and then conclude. So that is how we proceed with the memorials. And yes, while making arguments, try to put forth novel arguments and analogies, right? It will help. It will surely help, and it will be appreciated. Last but not the least, make sure that your memorial is well formatted. There is a structure that flows from the top to bottom, and yes, there is coherent. It is coherent at the same time. So these are some of the parameters that has to be taken into consideration.
Right. So moving on to the another aspect now, you've also got multiple articles published. So could you share some tips for freshers who are willing to explore legal research and
Actually,
writing?
in that sense, I am also a fresher. So what uh, I I can share is that what I have learned from my seniors, right? So first, identify your area of interest, because it will help you stay motivated and engaged as you delve deeper into the subject matter. Second, start with basics before diving into more complex legal issues. It is important to have a solid research and solid understanding of basic principle of law. Third is that read widely. Start by reading introductory textbooks or maybe commentary, online sources, case laws, research papers. Attend conferences and seminars to learn about the trends and the pertaining issues in the field. So these are some things that might help.
Okay, one last question. What plans do you have for the remainder of your law school journey?
I don't have much plan now. I have started believing in the saying that less is more. So I just want to spend my remaining 2 years in the trial courts of Delhi and in some law firms maybe. I believe that I am destiny's favorite child. So let's see where it takes me.
That was a wonderful session. Thank you for taking out time and sharing your inputs. We hope our audience will benefit immensely from your experience. I wish you all the best on behalf of YLCC for your future ahead. Thank you.